Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we will look at problem 2158 from Leetcode. So this problem is a little bit difficult. It is definitely not dynamic programming problem nor greedy approach, but still there is something that you can learn from like solving this kind of problem. Here is the problem statement, and I want you guys to pause this video for a second, try to come up with your own solution. And yeah, let's look at my solution together then. So as usual, the first thing you have to do is you do have to think about this, how to approach this problem. I know it sounds very easy, but like, so here in this case we are given this array paint, and then the first element will be the first day we can paint. So we can paint from 1 to 4. On the second day we can paint from 5 to 8. That's by this green color. And then on the third day we can paint from 4 to 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Notice that because from 5 to 7 it is already painted, this one is not valid. So on the third day we can only paint 1. So that is the problem. In this example we have only 3 days, but say we have, I don't know, like 10,000 days, and then let's just say on 5,000, say we are on 5,000th, and then we have been iterating from the first day all the way to the 5,000, and then now we are on the 5,001st day. Okay, now how should we access like all the areas that we have painted like in the previous 5,000 days? So what kind of data structure would you use? Would you use like dictionary, like I mean hash map or set, or I don't know, like what kind of data structure would you use? So this is where if you have solved problems using union find, do you guys remember like how we do that? We use that path compression, and how do we store like, so we create an array, and then we use that array to store the parent's number into the array's value, and that's how we did the bookkeeping stuff, right? So that's exactly what we are going to do here, because the maximum length of this paint is, I think it is at, so the maximum number our paint value can take is 5 times 10 to the power of 4. So it is not exactly that huge, so that we can fit into the memory. And so let's create an array. So here I just said track is an array. In this example, because the largest element here is 8, so we have like 0 through 8, right? So we have 9 elements. And also, just for the illustration purpose, this example, this track, we only have 9 elements. But then like in this example, like for this problem, in my code I just set track to be 0 times 5 times 10 to the power of 4. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind. All right, so with that being said, how should we solve this problem? Okay, this one should be the strategy, not strange. Okay, so the strategy is the following. So in this case, we are iterating our paint array. So first day we have 1 and 4. So 1 will be the start, 4 will be the end, right? If track of start is equal to 0, right, that means we have not yet painted this section. So one thing that I want to mention is that you create an array and then initialize all the values to be 0. Okay, you can set that value to be some negative numbers, right? Or you can set that to negative infinity. But as long as it is not like number greater than 0, it should be fine. Okay, so we will be if track of start is equal to 0, so let's just hypothetically work on this example. If track of start is equal to 0, what does that mean? This means we have not yet painted this section, and then we will modify this value. So we will increment, we will create a local variable, like something like answer or result, and then we will be incrementing that result variable by 1 whenever we encounter not painted section. Okay, so and then we set that track of start equal to end. So my question is, why should we do this? For now, for this case, we don't have to worry about it because we are looking at 1,4. That is the first day. So nothing has yet been painted, and we do not have to worry about this case where we have already painted, but on the third day we are looking at 5 through 7, which is already painted. So that part is something that we have to keep in mind. So that's the part where we will be using this track of start is equal to end. Set that equal to end, but for now just don't worry about it. Okay, another thing I want to mention is that if the first day is 1,4, then what does this exactly mean? Does that mean can we include 4.5? No. So we can only include numbers from 1, 1.1, 1.2, like 3.7, all the way to 4. Exactly 4, right? We cannot include 4.05 because that's not valid. So why is that important? Well, so we will be iterating our paint array from first day all the way to the last day, and then for each of this we will be running a while loop, and then we will be updating this track array, and then as we update our track array we will be incrementing our result, that local variable, and then once we exit the while loop we will be appending that result variable into our answer array. But we need to have condition where while loop, we need to have a condition for while loop, and then our while loop condition will be start is less than end. So this is our condition here, and notice that this is not less than or equal to. This is the key part, because 1 through 4, 1,4 means 4.1, 4.2 cannot be included, so it should be start is less than end, strictly less than end. So that's something that you have to keep in mind. I think that was the tricky part. So something like this is my pseudocode is not exactly complete code yet, because we have to consider the case where track of start is not equal to 0. But to show the strategy behind this, so let's just run this code for the first day, which is 1,4, right? So we are starting here. We set initially this was equal to 0. Now we set this equal to 4 because 4 is the end point here, and then we increment our result local variable here. Now we are at here, we increment our result variable, and then we will be moving to the next one. And then we are here. So now notice that when we are at here, like here, we will be running our, we satisfy this if statement. We will be updating our result variable, so that will give us 3. Now track of start is equal to end, so in that case this guy becomes 4. Now start will become 4. Now and then when we exit this if statement, we are going back to the while loop here, and now start is equal to end, so we exit this while loop. Okay, so one thing that you have to notice is that track 4 is not modified here, because 1,4 does not mean we are painting any number greater than 4. So our code is consistent with that regard. And then now we have to consider the case where track of start is not equal to 0. That means that portion is already painted. So that's the case too. So assume that we already have run this. It is exactly the same as you just did here. So that's why this part where we have 5 through 7, we have track value is equal to 8. Now we are on the third day. First track of 4 is equal to 0, so that we set that equal to 7, and we increment our result variable by 1, so that will give us 1, and then we move on to the next one. But track of 5 is not equal to 0, it is already equal to 8. In this case, so what do we have to do? Do we modify this track of 5, or do we keep incrementing our start variable by 1. So like, or is there a way where we can just skip everything here to like, so in other words, can we skip everything in this part, like without iterating, without incrementing start variable by 1? So the answer is yes. And so we can just go straight to the end point of track of 5. So in other words, we set what is it, so our start variable will be equal to track of start, and then so that means in this case, what is it, track is equal to 5 initially, right? But then when you set track equals to track of 5, which is 8, then start becomes 8 instead of 6, right? And how about do we also have to modify this value? So this is another thing that's interesting. I think you can just take the maximum of n value. In this case, it was 7, or you can take the maximum of n here and then track of 5, which is initially 8. So in that case, they will give you 8. But you can also just set track of 5 equal to end. Like this one still pass all the test case. I tried that, but I think this one is a little bit faster, right? So that's something that you have to keep in mind. And so this is the code. It wasn't that bad. The difficult thing was for me that this start is strictly less than end, not less than or equal to end, because 1,4 means like you are not including 4.1, something like that. And if you start with this concept, then you can make a like really like easy mistake painting this one with pink color. And so anyway, so that is for this code. So we are running one for loop here, and then we have this while statement here. So yeah, that's for this video, and that's for this presentation. And let's look at the code and see what we get. Okay, so here is the code, and so yeah, let's run this together and see what we get. Yeah, so these are the bunch of codes that I tried. Like I tried in different ways of solving this problem, but I think this is the most easiest way to understand this problem, right? So yeah, so that's for this video. And if my video helps you guys understanding this problem, please give me thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Okay, take care and bye bye.